And it shall come to pass that if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
My people dying, it's a lot of crying. It's like all love is gone, everything going wrong. Brother against brother, no fathers in the home. Betrayed by so-called friends, and you feel so alone. Where do we go from here? It's like the same old thing. Traveled this road before, don't wanna see pain no more. It's a cold world, very few obey our commands, for we know the earth is given into wicked hands. If my people called by my name will humble themselves and seek my face and pray, it will be okay. Turn from all your wicked ways, obey the word and have faith. I will heal the land, uphold you with my right hand.
First off, all praises to my life source. I heard this beat, it made me wanna tell my life story. Cause we all under these curses, so you relate to it. But I decided to speak strictly about our current goings, because iniquity abounds, love wax cold. It used to be even in wickedness you had a goal, but love of money and love of self became the main goal. Behave ourselves as if we ain't sheep of the same fold. We need each other more than ever now, if you ain't know. It's about to get worse than it's ever been, this world cold. To enter the kingdom we gotta endure and go through much tribulation. But before we get to that point, we gotta master the basics. Keeping the laws ain't an option, and you can't pick the ones you wanna. It's sad that that's the top of we folks who claim they Yasharala. We can't help the lost sheep while we got visible problems. Until you fully submit, you ain't giving glory and honor.
Father, give me strength to fight the battles that I have inside. In your secret place I cry, according to my flesh I die. Your Holy Spirit gives me life, I'll be your living sacrifice. Purify me with your fire, tired of going through generational curses. Teach me your commandments so that I can be perfect. Forgive me my transgressions and deliver me from evil. Abba, please take away the curses of your people. If my people called by my name will humble themselves and seek my face and pray, it will be okay. Turn from all your wicked ways, obey the word and have faith. I will heal the land, uphold you with my right hand, yeah. For I wish that I myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the services of God and the promises. It's time to turn back to Yah so he can turn back to us and restore these curses back to blessings.
I don't care what the world thinks, don't do nothing they doing. Christ said they was gon' hate as soon as you became a new man. I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws. I don't care what the world thinks, don't do nothing they doing. Christ said they was gon' hate as soon as you became a new man. I just wanna keep his laws, 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 I just wanna keep it laws. Obedience, the love of God. 1 John 5:3. The scripture don't understand it. Yeah, you know I lean out. I'm friends up, I got tassels on when I hit the scene now. I remember getting high, faithfully twisting a line. Now it's no drugs, I fiend for spiritual things now. I don't care what the world thinks, don't do nothing they doing. Christ said they was gon' hate as soon as you became new man. I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws. I don't care what the world thinks, don't do nothing they doing. Christ said they was gon' hate as soon as you became a new man. I just wanna keep it laws, I just wanna keep it laws, I just wanna keep it laws, I just wanna keep it laws. I don't hang no more, I don't slay no more, I don't set claim no more, I ain't the same, oh no. I used to pull kick doors, give me mine Debo, don't cross the line free throw, my tolerance was zero. But now I'm keeping these laws, I adhere to the Lord, red skill with the sword, chop false doctrine yet Lord. You wanna be victorious, send your life route Torah, take heed to the prophets, for judgment destroy you. Y'all really think it's sweet, I promise God ain't sleep. Read Sirach chapter 5, in the GNT, yeah the Lord show mercy, but he tired of you playing, instead of giving him your all, you just do what you can. I don't care what the world thinks, don't do nothing they doing. Christ said they was gon' hate as soon as you became new man. I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws, I just wanna keep his laws. I don't care what the world thinks, don't do nothing they doing. Christ said they was gon' hate as soon as you became a new man. I just wanna keep it laws, I just wanna keep it laws, I just wanna keep it laws, I just wanna keep it laws.
Shalom, family. One of the most important things is for us to be holy. Now, what does that mean? That means we have to separate ourselves from the world and build unity and community. Grab yourself a shirt that expresses that message, and let's not just talk about it, let's live it.
Ain't no free will, it's all predestinated. From every death to every child brought forth through copulation. From the spouse that you choose to your current occupation, you either receive mercy or Yahweh's indignation. I can recollect on times that I could have been dead, caught lacking, no strap, I had a knife instead. Played it cool, he wanted to kill me for how I used to move. Had to match his energy, portray that I was strapped too. But inside I'm praying to God, hoping he don't shoot. Still I'm whooping, telling him I know what he won't do. It ain't for everybody. 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 Yeah, many you call, but few get chosen. Matthew 22 and 14. My righteousness gonna exceed that of the Pharisees. Do what they. Shalom, shalom. First, we want to start out by giving all praise, honor, glory to the Most High, whose name is Yahweh. And we do so by Shem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. I'm your brother Hurt. And I also have with me my brother Aaron. And shalom, all praise to the Most High.
Hey, shalom, Mark. Shalom, family.
Khan. So tonight's lesson is law and order, the balance of the people, Leviticus Chapter 1. And if y'all were here last Tuesday, y'all were here and y'all were able to experience the first episode of this Law and Order series, Law and Order, the balance of the people. So last week we did Deuteronomy chapter 1, and this week we're going to be doing Leviticus chapter 1. So shalom and peace, grace and peace to everybody that's watching. If you're watching on a replay, grace and peace to you. We ask that if you are able to receive this edification, you're able to watch this lesson, all we ask is that you make sure to like the video, subscribe, and comment. And like the pinned comment says, we appreciate all of your help and support. All praise to the Most High God. And Ak, you got anything?
Khan, how's my mic?
Sound good.
Khan, all praises to the Most High. Yeah, just as the pinned comment says, of course, peace and blessings, family. You know, shout out to everyone that was able to hop on live with us and fellowship with us. Make sure you guys like the video, also subscribe and comment. We don't take it lightly. You know, we definitely appreciate your support every single time. It doesn't it doesn't go past us, so we definitely appreciate it. As far as the Facebook platform, make sure to like / heart the video, and if you want to share utilize the link below that I put in the chat on Facebook. And also, if you're able to, add highlight or use the add highlight feature so that you could ping more and more people from your friends list so that they can see the live. Maybe one of them might join. You know, that can always happen. So that's definitely a good thing to do, and that helps us tremendously. So, you know, we're definitely appreciative of all of you, and we thank the Most High for you. And you know, all praises to the Most High. Looking forward to another Torah class. But you got it, King.
All praise to the Most High. And one thing about this series and these Torah classes, we try to solely, and like I stated last week, we try to solely stay in the Old Testament, we stay in the Torah, and sometimes to the Tanakh also. So all praise to the Most High. I don't think I have anything else or nothing that we forgot to cover. And if not, you can go ahead and get your screen share.
Khan.
Oh yeah, I think I do have something. You mentioned something to me that we wanted to display and notify people of. You remember what that was about? The young brother, the issue.
Oh,
Just
yeah, he ended up taking it down, but that particular brother, he got into car accident, and you know, he's dealing with some I guess the effects afterwards. You know, he has some children. You know, so if y'all find it in y'all's hearts and y'all are able to, please keep the brother Ahmad in your prayers. And anything further as far as details are concerned, I'll express those things, and I'll push them out. But yeah, the water for bringing it up. But yeah, keep the brother Ahmad in Baltimore in prayer if y'all able to.
all praises, all praises. So yeah, we can go ahead and get the lesson started, get the screen share.
Come.
And shalom, brother David Wright, and shalom, sister Wendy, the boss lady, and to everyone else that may be watching and just may have not commented yet. Shalom also to you, which just means grace and peace.
Hey, for those of y'all that don't know, that's actually my biological father that's in the chat.
Come.
Shout out to my pops.
All praises. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with just the first 3 verses.
God, this book of Leviticus chapter 1, starting at verse 1. And the Lord called unto Moses and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd, and of the flock. If this offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord.
All praises. So just looking at this, the beginning of this chapter, we see the subheading, the law of burnt offerings. So this entire chapter is dealing with the law of burnt offerings. So there are detailed instructions that we're going to find in here, and we're going to look at these things. So it says in verse 1, and Yahweh called unto Moses and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto Yahweh, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd, and of the flock. So these are 3 different animals that they're able and allowed to bring as an offering unto the Most High. Verse 3 says, If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. So in verse 3, it says, he shall offer it of his own voluntary will. So this isn't something that's going to be forced on the people. This is something they're supposed to voluntarily get up to do. And it's just like anything else that we do and we claim is for the Most High. It's something we're supposed to be willing, and we want to have that drive behind us to go and do it, not being forced or as if it's grievous for us to do these things. Now, Ak, if you could, let's just read verse 4 and verse 5.
Con. Continuing on, this is Leviticus chapter 1, continuing on to verse 4 through 5. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my slack here. So this is the book of Leviticus chapter 1, verse 4. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Con. So what we see is an outline that the priests, they're going to offer up this offering, this burnt offering, for the male that brings this offering of the herd, or whether it be of the flock, of the cattle. But the person that's actually bringing forward the offering, they have to kill it. They kill this offering, and the priest is going to offer it up for them. So this is how this burnt offering goes. This is the layout of the line of order of how things go. So, Ak, if you could, let's read. And before we read this, I'm going to ask a question. And if you have the answer, just write it in the chat. And we're going to read a few verses to give a little time for some answers to come out. So, as pertaining to the children of Israel, children of Yashala, what was the first sacrifice that they were involved in? To the best of your knowledge, just write it in the chat if you can think of when that was. If not, we'll provide the answer afterwards. But Brother Aaron, if you could, let's read verses 6 through 9.
Kind of, am I still?
What you say? You just went into the matrix for a second. Yeah, your screen isn't being shared though, if that's the question.
Yeah, I was asking about still sharing. Yeah, that's something's happening on my end.
Okay, let me pull it up on my end. Give it a little second to get back. Shouldn't take me long to get it up. Okay. Boom. All right, so I'm about to share my screen. All right, can you see that?
I can see it.
All praises. All right, so let's go back to Leviticus 1. Let's pull this back up on the screen. So, if you could read verses 6 through 9. And is that big enough on the screen? I'll blow it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good though. Says 6 through 9.
Yes, sir.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 1, starting at verse 6. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall put fire upon the altar and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head and the fat in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar.
Verse 9.
In verse 9. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water. And the priest shall burn all the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord.
All praises. So I don't see an answer to that question, but we'll get to that. But a key thing, y'all, about what we just read in verses 6 through 9, and Brother David, the water for the stars also. A key thing we see, it says in verse 6, and he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire upon the altar and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priest, Aaron's son, shall lay the parts, the head, and the fat in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. So what we see is with this sacrifice, every single thing gets burnt on the altar. That's not always going to be the case. And I'm not going to go into that just yet. We don't want to spoil the future lessons and breakdowns of these chapters about these sacrifices. But I asked the question, I said, when was the first sacrifice that was done by the nation of Israel, well, that they would partake in? So this would have been Passover, the Passover lamb that was sacrificed when we came out of Egypt. And so we're going to look at that account because there's actually a difference in how this sacrifice was done versus how the sacrifice was done in Leviticus 1. So let's get Exodus 12. And you can start reading at verse 1 and read through 11.
God, it's the book of Exodus chapter 12, starting at verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning shall ye burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover.
So this is officially the first time that Israel was involved in making a sacrifice. And we see what happens with this sacrifice. This was the lamb that they sacrificed. But what's one key thing, if y'all can discern what the difference is about this sacrifice and the sacrifice in Leviticus, what's that one key thing that there's a difference about this sacrifice? And I'll give it just a few seconds just to make sure I give enough time for people to answer. Because it's a key thing. And if nobody answers, I'll just let you answer. And give it like another 10 seconds. All right, I'll go ahead.
My answer would be well, for one, I would say in verse 6, I think it's verse 6. It says, And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. So I would say that it was our responsibility to and it's specifically to Exodus 12, it was our responsibility to handle the actual sacrificing and all of the, the guts and the bits and pieces thereof. Because when you read throughout Leviticus, you see the priests, they're handling those certain intricacies as you read through the first few verses of Leviticus. But with the Passover sacrifice, as you see in Exodus 12, the people within their houses were handling those things themselves. So that's
Right.
what I would say that would be the biggest difference.
And I agree that's the point, y'all. And we're gonna look at verse 3 and 4 because it expresses it plainly. It says, "Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the households be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next into his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb." So this would have been the difference in it. They would have did all of the slaying and, just like Brother Aaron said, got rid of the guts or whatever they had to do in this sacrifice. It wouldn't have been the priest involved. So that begs the question about when was the first offering that the priests were actually involved in, where they made a sacrifice for Israel. And we're going to look at that in Leviticus chapter 9. And Ak, if you could read verses 1 through 7.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 9, starting at verse 1. "And it came to pass on the 8th day that Moses called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel. And he said unto Aaron, Take thee a young calf for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering, without blemish, and offer them before the Lord. And unto the children of Israel thou shalt speak, saying, Take ye a kid of the goats for a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both of the first year, without blemish, for a burnt offering. Also a bullock and a ram for peace offerings, to sacrifice before the Lord, and a meat offering mingled with oil. For today the Lord will appear unto you." And they brought that which Moses commanded before the tabernacle of the congregation, and all the congregation drew near and stood before the Lord. And Moses said, This is the thing which the Lord commanded that ye should do, and the glory of Yahweh shall appear unto you. And Moses said unto Aaron, Go unto the altar, and offer thy sin offering, and thy burnt offering, and make an atonement for thyself and for the people, and offer the offering of the people, and make an atonement for them, as the Lord commanded.
And yeah, through 11. Or did I say 11? No,
I thought I heard 7, but I might have misheard
I
you.
said 7. I said
God.
7. Con. All praises. The
God.
water out. So looking at this, y'all, we see that it says the subheading is Aaron offers sacrifices. And within this, we also see that it says it's telling them also to take enough to make sacrifices for the priest. Also, we actually see this get done in Leviticus 8. We ain't going to go through it and read it, but we see these sacrifices being done. These sacrifices that are being done are actually being done on the 8th day of the Feast of Tabernacles. We see that in the first verse. But the sacrifices we see in Leviticus 8 are actually done at the beginning of the Feast of Tabernacles, and it's Aaron and the priest that are putting these sacrifices up for themselves. They're making the sacrifices for themselves, not for Israel. So, if we could, we can continue reading. Nah, we ain't got to read that. We ain't got to read that because I don't want to go into that and kind of spoil the future lessons or whatever. But if you got a point, you can make a point too also.
No points, King.
Con, all praises. So let's go back to Leviticus 1. And if you could, let's read verses 10 through 13.
God, it's the book of Leviticus chapter 1, starting at verse 10. "And if his offering be of the flocks, namely of the sheep, or of the goats. For a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish, and he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward before Yahweh. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar, and he shall cut it into his pieces with his head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire which is upon the altar. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh.
Con. So we see the same thing that we covered earlier, that these things are being burnt on the altar. Everything is being burnt on the altar. It's a burnt sacrifice. So it all gets burnt up. And the Most High loves this sweet smelling savor. So we're going to continue going because we're going to look at evidence of this being done before we see this being done in Leviticus 1. Let's go to Genesis 8, verses 20 through 22.
Salakia, I did at one point.
Come,
Now
go
that you made that. So would you be able to go to Numbers 18?
Yes, sir.
Because there's a point about the altar, because as you see in Leviticus 8, Leviticus 1, the service there is being done and is connected to the altar. But in Exodus 12, as the brother went into, that wasn't connected to the altar, and the people, they weren't even allowed to be within a certain vicinity of those particular vessels, which would include the altar as well. If you could go down to, matter of fact, we can start at 1. So this is Numbers chapter 18, verse 1. It says, "And the Lord said unto Aaron, Thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness." So the people that are doing the service towards God and like the sacrifices, which are connected to the altar, these only include the priests and then the Levites, which help minister unto the priests, help the priests with anything they need help with. But even as we'll continue to read on, you'll see that there's certain boundaries that even the Levites that aren't priests can't go across. So how much more, other Israelites that are outside of Levi. When you jump down, verse 3, it says, "And they shall keep thy charge and the charge of all the tabernacle, only they shall not come nigh the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also die." So right there, it makes the point that like those Levites, they're not even supposed to, cross a certain threshing, or a certain what's the word, boundary. They can't come, within the vicinity of a particular area. So how much more, others? And it even tells you in verse 4, "And they shall be joined unto thee and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation for all the service of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not come nigh unto you." Again, they're not allowed to approach. The stranger is talking about anybody outside of the priest. Verse 5, and this, I'll cap it off here. "And ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel." So again, like if that was held down, then the wrath would be held up from the children of Israel. But if this is violated, then you start to see people, things happening to people. Case in point, you see with Korah, how he wants to, be involved in this particular process, but he's not of the priests. So, him and the people that followed him, they get swallowed up. And then you also have examples of people that, directly touch the altar, and you see where they actually die. Like it's a brother named Uzziah, I believe it is, in Second Kings. Second Samuel, and he touched the altar, and he's a Levite, but he's not a priest, and he actually died. So, there's like a difference between the sacrifices that would occur, within that time of Exodus 12 and the Passover within the homes, and then the sacrifices that would occur, connected to the tabernacle, the sanctuary, the altar, etc. But I just wanted to highlight that point.
All praises. That's a mighty point. And let's go to Genesis 8, and let's look at verses 20 through 22.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 8, starting at verse 20. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
So the Most High has always had this in place, these sacrifices. He's always wanted that sweet smelling savor. And the thing is, there are different types of sacrifices. There are different reasons for different sacrifices, and there's a different time for each sacrifice. And as we continue reading throughout these different chapters in Leviticus and Numbers, and even some in Exodus also, we'll see details that detail things about, and Deuteronomy, Salakia, details about these different sacrifices and the laws for the sacrifices and the particular way that you're supposed to do these things. And it's important because as we look at the details, it tells you a lot about the Most High, and it also you can see symbology with your walk in the way that the Most High want things done particularly. But let's go to Numbers 28, verses 1 and 2. And if you read, you on mute too, King.
Yeah, I was midway through verse 2. Salakia.
God.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 28, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, My offering and my bread for my sacrifices made by fire, for a sweet savor unto me, shall ye observe to offer unto me in their due season.
Right. So there are particular times that this must be done. They have to be done. You're supposed to do them. And we're going to read a little more about these times, the due season for some of them. Give me verses 3 through 6.
Continuing on verse 3. And thou shalt say unto them, This is the offering made by fire, which ye shall offer unto the Lord. 2 lambs of the first year without spot, day by day, for a continual burnt offering. For the lamb shalt thou offer in the morning, and the other lamb shalt thou offer at even. And 1/10 part of an ephah of flour for a meat offering, mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil. It is a continual burnt offering, which was ordained in Mount Sinai, for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord.
So when we look at this, it says that this is a continual burnt offering. And it says this is the offering made by fire, which ye shall offer unto the Lord. 2 lambs of the first year without spot, day by day, for a continual burnt offering. And so these 2 lambs that are being offered day by day, it tells us one lamb is going to be in the morning, the other lamb is going to be at the even. Now, there's an important part right here in verse 5. When we look at these details about how you're supposed to offer these offerings, let's look at it from the standpoint and the perspective of, let's say, okay, you got your lambs, right? You got your lamb for the morning, you got your lamb for the evening. And you commence and go forward to go ahead and offer up your sacrifice. It says, and a tenth part of an ephah of flour for a meat offering, mingle with the fourth part of an hin of beaten oil. What if you offer up this offering without this flour and without this oil? Is the Most High going to be pleased with it? Nah, because we're missing some key instructions. And if we don't do that, then you think he going to want your offering? He going to want that sacrifice you offering up? Nah, because it's something that you didn't do. You did part of what he said do, but the other part you said, nah, I ain't going to do that. So we can't, we have to take this lesson from this lesson that we can't choose to do what we want to do and leave the other undone, because the Most High is not going to be pleased. When we look at, let's go back up to verse 2. It says, command the children of Israel and say unto them, my offering and my bread for my sacrifices made by fire for a sweet savor unto me shall ye observe to offer unto me in their due season. He wants a sweet savor. The only way this is going to be a sweet savor unto him is if we do exactly what he said in the way that he said do it. And Ak, if you want to add something, you can.
No, nothing to add, King. Excellent point.
Khan, all praises. So let's go back to Leviticus 1. And we at the end of the chapter, y'all. This is a short one. It's a short chapter. And if y'all got any questions or anything y'all want to comment, you can before the lesson gets to the end, before we get to the end of this chapter. But Ak, if you could, let's read verses 14 through 17. These are the last few verses.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 1, starting at verse 14. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar and wring off his head and burn it on the altar. And the blood thereof shall be wrung out of the side of the altar. And he shall pluck away his crop with his feathers and cast it beside the altar on the east part by the place of the ashes. And he shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord.
Khan, all praises. So in verse 14, it says, and if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. So my question to y'all is, when does it come into play that we're able to offer up fowl as a part of our sacrifice? Was this already stated in this chapter? Where does this understanding come from? It says that you can offer up turtle doves or of young pigeons. What's the reason behind this, everybody? I want to see if somebody has an answer to that. I'm going to play a commercial, give a little time, about 30 seconds, to see if y'all can come away with the understanding from just kind of analyzing and scanning what we've already read of why this is able to happen in verse 14. And we'll play this commercial for a second.
Shalom, family. One of the most important things is for us to be holy. Now, what does that mean? That means we have to separate ourselves from the world and build unity and community. Grab yourself a shirt that expresses that message, and let's not just talk about it, let's live it.
All right. So when we look at verse 14, it says, and if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. Now we're going to scroll back to verse 2. In verse 2, it says, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, if any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord or to Yahweh, Ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd, and of the flock. It didn't mention that you could offer up fowls in verse 2. It gave us the three things that you were able to offer. It didn't make any suggestion of anything else. So when we get to verse 14, you have to naturally have a question of, well, why is it including fowls now? And when you think about the time, you think about, just put yourself in antiquity. Who would actually have cattle? Who would actually have herds? Who would actually have flocks? Everybody didn't own those things. So the offerings of fowls are being permitted because these things are actually domesticated animals. People would own them. They would own cattle, herd, and flocks. Some people wouldn't be fortunate enough to own these things. So the Most High has made provision in verse 14 to include fowls being part of the offerings. So if someone had the cattle and the herd, this isn't for them to go and say, okay, I'm going to go catch a bird and offer this, when the Most High has already blessed them with these things to be able to do what it tells them to do in verse 2. This is more so for those who don't own these things and would be less fortunate. So this is just evidence of the Most High's wisdom and the accommodation that he grants us to make it possible for us to follow his laws. And this is just like some beautiful grace and mercy and wisdom that we see, that the Most High, he knows all things. He knows that some people aren't going to or weren't going to be able to offer up these things, so he made provision. And we see the same thing with us in these times that where we've had to acclimate to living in the land of our oppressor, and the certain things that they do to try and keep us from keeping the laws of the Most High. And even in the scripture, it tells us we would eat our bread defiled among the Gentiles. But we have the evidence and the understanding of what we're supposed to do. We just do as we can to the best of our ability. And Ak, if you want to add anything, you can before I grab this scripture.
And not to even spoil it, but like as you read throughout the book of Leviticus, it'll actually give you the specification for someone that's, unable to afford or unable to bring such an animal, such as the lamb, etc. And it'll give the provision that, hey, you can bring turtle dove, you can bring a pigeon, etc. So like as the brother was speaking to, you do see the mercy and like the lawful exception, the provision, that the Most High provides even within the Torah. And I think that's a strong point to highlight, as far as, when we have conversations about there being mercy and grace in the Torah. Well, you see an example right there with it. But you got it, King.
Khan, all praises. Yeah, Sister Wendy, you probably did misunderstand the question. It's just, we didn't see this in verse 2. This wasn't a part of what the Most High deemed acceptable in verse 2, because it shows us in verse 2, speaking to the children of Israel and saying to them, if any man of you bring an offering into the Yahweh, you shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd and of the flock. And then it goes on to detail how you're supposed to bring these things. And then in closing, before it closes out, it gives us the information about the fowls that is possible to bring fowl also. And we see two of the examples, which are turtle doves and young pigeons, and they would be considered clean, not unclean. Like we read the example in Genesis 8 of Noah and how he offered up a sacrifice at the end of being delivered from the flood. Let's go to Deuteronomy 12. And let's read verses 1 through 4.
Okay. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, starting at verse 1. These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land, which Yahweh, God of thy fathers, giveth thee to possess it all the days that ye live upon the earth. Ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess, serve their gods upon the high mountains, and upon the hills, and under every green tree. And ye shall overthrow their altars, break their pillars, and burn their groves with fire. And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the names of them out of that place. Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God.
Con. So just like we discussed earlier, there's a due season for these sacrifices. There's a certain way you're supposed to do these sacrifices. And this is what's going to be pleasing to the Most High. But what we see right here, he gives us instruction on when we would come into lands back in those times, that we would see that these people would have groves set up. They would have altars set up. We weren't supposed to say, okay, they got an altar already set up, I can just make a sacrifice to Yahweh right here on this altar. It keeps me from having to build a whole new altar. He says, nah, tear those places down. And don't just build an altar to me anywhere you see fit. Build it where I tell you to build it. Verse 2 and 3, it says, ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree. And ye shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves with fire. And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods and destroy the names of them out of that place. So you can also attribute this to these pagan holidays. Just because you say, well, I ain't really, celebrating it like that, I'm still gonna buy gifts for my people. And hey, don't make yourself a part of what they're doing or what they're dealing with. This is a sacrifice to a false god. So you can't go and say, well, we just gonna praise the Most High on that day. And like the brother, I can't remember his name, or the camp he had, they tried to turn Thanksgiving into Yahweh Shai Day. And then they had all the turkey and stuff on the table, and they did it exactly like people celebrate Thanksgiving. And they even had pork on the plate and pork on the table. We can't do as the nations do. We have to do as the Most High God sees fit and how he tells us to do things. Brother, read verses 5 through 8. And you on mute too.
God, it says, but unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and thither thou shalt come. And thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and heave offerings of your hand and your vows and your free will offerings and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks. And there ye shall eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hand unto, ye and your households, wherein the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. Ye shall not do after all the things that we do here this day, every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes.
Right. And verse 8 is key, because we talk about this a lot in all of these different live lessons, how people will allow their flesh or their thoughts and feelings determine what they believe to be right. But the Most High has outlined what's right for us and what's right to do, no matter where we go and what we do in this world and in this lifetime. It says, you shall not do after all the things that we do here this day, every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. And when we look at verse 5, it says, and it's speaking about these offerings, but unto the place which Yahweh your power shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even into his habitation shall ye seek, and thither thou shalt come. So we would have to go as far as what the Most High, as far as what the Most High wants from us and where he wants us to make these sacrifices. Not just anywhere we feel and see fit. Like, oh man, I like this spot. I think the Most High would like if I offer sacrifice here. He didn't say that. That's just something you came up with in your own mind. It's the same thing with the laws of the Most High being what they are and people justifying themselves based off how they feel about things. We can't do those things. But I think that's all I got. This was a very short chapter, short lesson. But I'm looking forward to the next chapter and, just this book of Leviticus also, and to you getting back to Deuteronomy. So all praise, honor, glory to the Most High. Brother, you want to add anything?
Beautiful lesson, King. Definitely broken down well, man. All praises to the Most High. And yeah, man, I think Leviticus is going to be a beautiful book, and it's going to be a lot of insight drawn from the book of Leviticus, and as well as Deuteronomy. So definitely looking forward to these, as a brother mentioned. Also, the chapter breakdowns as well. Definitely looking forward to everything that's in store to to come forth. So all praises to the Most High.
All praises, all praises. If y'all have any questions or any comments, y'all can place them in the chat. I'll give it a second just to make sure we don't end class too fast. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I'll play this, y'all. If y'all haven't subscribed to our Aaron's channel, do so, and I'll place it on the screen so y'all can have an opportunity to search that up.
Ain't no free will, it's all predestinated. From every death to every child brought forth through copulation. From the spouse that you choose to your current occupation, you either receive mercy or Yahweh's indignation. I can recollect on times that I could have been dead. Caught lacking, no strap, I had a knife instead. Played it cool, he wanted to kill me for how I used to move. Had to match his energy, portray that I was strapped too. But inside I'm praying to God, hoping he don't shoot. Then I'm whooping, telling him I know what he won't do.
All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High, Sister Jerry. I'm glad you were able to be edified. And like this comment says, Shalom, family. Thank you for helping us grow the kingdom of the Most High by liking, commenting, and sharing the video. Please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on future lessons. So if you haven't done that, in closing, we ask that you do that, and we very much appreciate it. And if you don't have anything else, you can take us on out.
Nothing else, man. We'll close it out with Numbers 6 and 24 on down. Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Peace and shalom.
Shalom, family.
It ain't for everybody. Salvation. It ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. Salvation. It ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. Yeah, many are called, but few get chosen. Matthew 22 and 14. My righteousness gonna